Let's talk about a couple things this evening. First, Jeffrey Epstein's back in the news. A couple of Congress persons have asked the federal district court judge in New York, who ordered the release of the full grand jury testimony, to take over the all of the Epstein files and hand them to a moderator, a mediator, an impartial person who will be responsible for going through them, excising or protecting what should be protected and turning the rest over. So far, the Department of Justice has turned over 1% of all the documents, and they've had months and thousands of FBI and DOJ people looking at this, trying to exonerate Trump. That's my belief, and I think that's what will be shown out with those documents. And I think we'll see that Trump and some of his most loyal and dollar loyal supporters will be involved in that. But time, of course, will tell whether I'm right or wrong. At the same time, we saw that the Clintons turned down the request, or said they wouldn't comply with a congressional subpoena to testify. I'm not sure that that's what I would have done. I think, and I'm not second guessing their lawyers, what I would have said is you release all the files so we can see what's there and what's important and what's referred to specifically with respect to us, because we don't want to take any risk that our memories are bad or that we say something that is factually inaccurate. So we'd like to see all the files and put the congressional people back, put the onus back on them, because I think first of all, I think it's fair. Whoever's was friends with Epstein, if they're involved, and I don't necessarily mean badly involved, but if they've been involved and might know something of import, they should testify. And that goes for whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent. So that then we go on to the killers known as ICE, the masked gangsters. Congress is asking who they are, where they've come from, and how many of them are the January 6th people that had stormed the Capitol that then had to be pardoned by Trump. I've long said I'm dead set opposed to people showing up with masks. I think it's done to intimidate people. It's done to scare people. And we have more videos released today of ICE dragging a compromised woman, a person who has mental disabilities, as I understand it, from her car as she was heading into her doctor's office. The more you read about it, the worse it gets. Minnesota has asked the federal district court up there to put a stop to these tactics. And while the federal government certainly has the ability to deal with immigration and illegal aliens, they don't have the right to willy-nilly attack citizens and people who are here lawfully. And I don't think they have the right to attack anybody. They might have the right to arrest. They might have the right to detain. They certainly don't have the right to shoot on sight, as these people have done. In that regard, I think it's either 4 or 6 people from the Department of Justice, the Civil Rights Division, have resigned because they were instructed with respect to any investigation that they were not to investigate the ICE officer who put 3 bullets into the face of Miss Good, who was driving the car. They were only to investigate her and see if they could find any left-wing organizations that she was a member of. But keep in mind, today you're considered to be a left-wing radical if you believe in things like the United States Constitution, fair play, and freedom of speech, because these are things that Trump and the MAGA people clearly don't believe in. In that regard, we also found out tonight that the ICE officer who shot the woman 3 times in the face at point-blank range they had been lying to his neighbors for years. He told his neighbors that he was a botan that dealt with plants and was a botanist. He didn't tell them that he was an ICE agent. So we have the first lie. If you can't even if you can't even tell the truth about what you do, what else can you be expected to lie about? The only people who might lie about what they do are specific agents for the CIA or something, I suppose, that are paid to lie for a living. Um, so this is what goes on, and then I can't remember if it was the Secretary of Treasury or Secretary of Commerce was talking to a woman who runs a small business. I don't remember what it was, but let's assume for a minute it was an ice cream shop, complaining what the tariffs were doing to her and her business. And he said, well, you should just learn to diversify your business. So I suppose she's gone out to buy an aluminum company or a steel processing plant, because that would certainly be a diversification uh, of a business. They have no sense of what they're talking about to everyday people and the struggles that people go through. It's a criminal organization. And speaking of that, by the way, there's a report that just came out that the ex-mayor of New York, Eric Adams, had started some cryptocurrency, and I understand next to nothing about this stuff, and immediately shut itself down. So his investors were left holding the bag, and he got about $2 million into his pocket. He certainly learned from Donald Trump how to steal from people.